Okay, good day, comrade subscribers. So before I can continue upgrading this 464 Plus, I thought I could get away with ceramic capacitors, but it's quite adamant here that you should be using polyester. Although apparently polyester are very difficult to find, as they haven't been produced. Polyester-based MKS capacitors should be used for these, the red box type, which can be seen in the picture below. Ceramic or standard multi-layer capacitors, MLCC, which is what I've got, are not advised. They may work, but it is far from guaranteed. So as MKS capacitors are very rigid, make sure that the pin distances are correct for the PCB, and unfortunately they don't actually list the pin distances, so I'm going to have to figure it out myself. Not a big deal. So I thought, anyway, data set still needs to be fixed. So I thought it might be good to, because I do have a 6128 plus, so I thought it might be good to compare them. Okay. Just a little bit on here. This requires a little bit more convincing on this edge. There we go. Disconnect the power LED and switch. So there's only three screws holding this in, so I'll take those out. And then I'll get the 6128 out, 6128 Plus, and then we can have a quick comparison. Where was the other one? Disconnect the keyboard. There it is. So screws are typical Amstrad screws. They've used these screws for everything, I think. Anyway, let's get the board out. That's all we need. Alright, let me get the 6128 now. Okay, here's the 6128 Plus. Basically identical, except a bit yellower. Okay, no screws in it. So it should be just the 3 clips. And again at this side here. One moment. Okay, so there is actually a slight difference in the board. So where did I see it? I saw it somewhere. Here we go. So the 6128 Plus board is MC0122C, and the 464 Plus board is a MC0122D. So I assume it's a later revision. So slight differences. Pretty much the layout's all the same, except for example this variable resistor R82, which is there, is in a slightly different position here. Doesn't make any difference because they're both there, so that's R82 there. And then if we look on the 464, it's moved up to there. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Let's go out again. But yeah, so we can see these are these polyester type capacitors that they're talking about. Quite small ones. So they're the ones that we need to install. Resistor network there. Electrolytic capacitor there. inductor there as well. And this is obviously for drive B as Centronics. So this is what causes the issue. If you want to install that, causes the issue because it gets in the way of the cassette mechanism. So yeah, so down here is all where we need to check out the capacitors. So let me just have a quick look. Okay, yeah, they're all pretty much standard 5mm pitch, so that is not a problem. So I can do the resistors, I can probably do the chips. So there's a 74HC14. 74HC14 hex inverting Schmitt trigger. So it says you should use a HC for that. Don't use a HCT or LS. I don't know why, but so I'll have to see what I've got. And then the other two are LS, 74 LS 38s. We've got the SED. I've got that one there, and then the actual FD floppy controller there. I've got that one. So I'll be able to make a start on it, and I'm just going to have to order these little capacitors or equivalent of. Actually, okay, so that's interesting. Both have got missing. You know, we've got C45 isn't on either. C42, C43 are missing on both. C44. Anyway, doesn't matter. So 6128 plus 464. I'll start sucking out solder for these other holes and make a start. Another small change difference I noticed. So the C, which is the older board, the power adapter is 4. It's got space for 4, so I guess plus 5 volts and plus 12 volts for the floppy drive. Whereas on the D, we've only gone to 3, so plus 5 volts and 2 grounds. So another minor change. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so bit of a storm coming. Just about done. Logic's all ready to go. Actually, let me put all the chips in. Okay, so that is pretty much all I can do for today. Got the floppy controller installed, the data separator, some extra logic, bunch of resistors. So I need to get those polyester type or MKS type capacitors, the big inductor for up here, and then decide whether I want to run it internally, have a cable internal, or have this external Centronics. So if we have a look at the 6128 board in the 464 case, so you can see for a start that, yeah, you need to cut out this blank here to get that in. But the other issue you're going to have is, if I can get it, is this bit of plastic there. If I can, it's a bit sore actually. Get that out of the way. So yeah, this bit of plastic here is going to impede or be impeded by the Centronics adapter there. So you need to make a cut or something on that if you want to use this Centronics. Otherwise, I guess what you could do is just run a ribbon cable perhaps out there and have a ribbon cable hanging out the back, or even, I wonder, just have something attached externally, maybe. Rather than having a Centronics, maybe have a DC37 or something like they use on the IBM PCs. Anyway, so something for me to think about. But yeah, so I need to order those capacitors. and just finish sucking out. So that's the power supply for the internal, and finish sucking out the solder there and figure out what I'm going to do. Okay, hopefully get it working in the next video. Bye for now. Just have a close up. Floppy disk controller, data separator, additional resistors. That's my resistor network there. Missing capacitors, some extra logic. That's the 128K RAM expansion. Inductor there. Internal power supply for the floppy. Internal interface for the floppy, and then the external floppy interface. Compared to 6128 board. So that's the type of inductor I need to get. And these are the capacitors, polyester type. So, almost there. Let's see.